Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Bus. Today, we're actually just going to be cleaning down the engine bay in the old Luxy before we get the engine rebuilt and put it back in her. So, let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, before we can really get into it, we've got to pull out the battery and the airbox. So I've already undone the battery, so we'll just pull this one out. There's that out, and then we'll just come back to the airbox. Alright, so we've got the airbox out now, as you can see too. It's pretty filthy under those spots, so we'll clean those up. Fill the bucket with some CT18. So as you can see, we've cleaned up the engine bay now a little bit better, and it's all coming together. However, we've had to stop, and I've got a replacement steering box anyway, so we're just going to pull this steering box out here, get behind it and everything, and put the replacement on, because this one's actually been leaking for about 12 months, so we'll sort that out now. Alright, so we've gotten the power steering box out, that was just down here, so now we're going to get in, give this a good scrub. There's a power steering box over there on the ground with the rag on it. So yeah, we'll just give in here a good scrub, and then that should be happy days. Alright, so we've tried to do a bit of a clean up. As you can see, the battery tray is pretty rusted, so we're thinking of just from about here down, we're just going to give it a fresh coat of some rust converter, because as you can see in there, it's pretty gnarly. So we're just going to clean that up, even though it'll all be hidden by the battery tray, but we just want to kind of kick some of this rust before it can get too far. That's the plan anyways. But as you can see, we've cleaned down where the steering box was, but obviously being that it's a steering box, it's having it near it, it's always going to be a bit more filthy. So we might actually sand that down quickly and might give that a coat before we put the new steering box in. So let's get to it. Alright, so now we've got all of it prepped. So as you can see the bare metal. And we've just got some rust oleum, which we're going to use to cover up the rust and hopefully stop it. Okay, so as you can see, we've just had it done a quick coat of the battery tray area just to stop some of the rust. But yeah, as you can see, it's not white's not matching, but it was never going to match. Alright, so paint's all dry now. We've just dropped the battery tray and we'll put the battery in later, but now we're just going to do the power steering box. So we've just got the other power steering box. We're giving it a fresh lick of paint before we go too far with anything. So we'll do that, and then we'll put the power steering box in. So here we have the power steering box. It's all painted. Then here we have the power steering box bracket up here. So it's all freshly painted too. So just waiting for those to dry, and we'll put them back in.
24 hours later.
As you can see, I've put in my new power steering box. There we go, all freshly painted, so is the bracket. So it'll all look really nice. We're going to be cleaning down the chassis rails before the engine goes in as well. But yeah, there we go, back together. No more leaky boy. Let's see the before and afters. I thought I'd do something different this episode, and I just wanted to show you guys the tools that I kind of did to do this project. So it wasn't too hard. It was pretty easy, obviously, because it's just cleaning really. But to get the steering box out and stuff, we use this in conjunction with this, because this has a 3/8 drive. So we use the toolkit in conjunction with the impact drive, so that way we could get the steering box out and not have to mess around with that too much. And then we also have the drill, which we just used drill brushes with. So that got heaps of the schmutz off. And then we also use this for the bits of the areas, the brackets and the areas we wanted to paint. We just use this, the wire brush, and got in there. And we also got in with a die grinder, with a right angle die grinder with an abrasive pad to get into the really tricky bits. And then finally we've got our gasket peelers, which we just use to I guess get off things, a bit of grease, cake, dirt. It's all just piled up, and we just couldn't get it off with a brush, and it would just make the brush dirty, so we just scraped it all off. But yeah, as you can see, you don't need much to get started, so it's not that hard. You might get lost along the way, but it's pretty easy, so get into it. thanks for watching another video, guys. I'm sure you liked the before and after. It's a big change. Bit of liquor paint over some rusted areas, which made it look really nice. Bit of liquor paint over the steering box, which you saw earlier. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate watching the content, liking, subscribing, and commenting. And there's Lola barking. Toyota.